Welcome to Transforming Your Life Through Storytelling. If this is your first time watching my videos, you are in for a treat. And if you have not yet subscribed, I hope that after hearing this story, you will. This one comes from the book Small Miracles by Judith Leventhal, and it's a true story. And that's what makes this one so powerful. It is a reminder to us all that the field that connects all things is very real, and that the parent-child bond is so miraculous as to defy the laws of time and space. I hope you enjoy the story. A young Jewish boy named Joey Rickless from Cleveland, Ohio, came from an Orthodox family, but for some reason he became distraught with his faith. At the age of 19, suddenly he woke up one day questioning 5,000 years of Jewish tradition. He questioned all the things that he had been taught about his culture, and his father, being the ardent practitioner of his faith and a Holocaust survivor, took Joey's rebellion as a personal offense. Joey tried to explain to his father that he needed to go into the world and experience different traditions and religions for himself. I want to know, he said, if everything I have been taught about my culture is true or not. But his father, being the traditional and proud Jew that he was, he told him that if he turned his back on his tradition, that meant that he was putting in doubt his father's words. And he further told him, if you leave, then you're not longer my son. But just the same, Joey left into the world to learn from all the ancient Eastern traditions. He studied Buddhism, Hinduism, Sikhism, and he even tried ancient Greek religions and shamanism, trying to find an alternative for his Hebrew religious heritage, but nothing seemed to satisfy his spiritual longing. So after many years of wandering the world guru hopping, he happened to walk into a cafe in Paris where he saw a friend from America that he hadn't seen for a long time. "I'm sorry about the recent death of your father," said the friend. Not knowing anything about his family for so many years, you can imagine how the news hit Joey. Feeling guilt and remorse and even blaming himself for his father's death, he decided to return to America, where he spoke to many of his father's friends. And what he found out was that his father spoke about him all the time with pride, which is the opposite of what Joey thought. For years since Joey left, he thought that his father felt ashamed of him. But he found that his father, after being separated for so long and having had the benefit of time and retrospecting, he grew to look at their disagreement in a different light. His father was indeed proud of him for having the courage to question 5,000 years of tradition, something that he himself could never do. Knowing this information softened Joey's heart. This allowed him to step back into his Jewish heritage, and he decided that he would give his father's tradition a chance. And with that in mind, he left to explore it, and that took him to the Holy Land of Israel. While visiting Jerusalem, he went to the Wailing Wall, the holiest spot for the Jewish people. While at the wall, he saw that there were hundreds of people praying and touching the wall. So he asked a young man what that was about, and he was told that they were petitionary prayers. People believe that the stones are holy and that anything placed inside the cracks of the stones will be specially blessed and heard by God, said the young man. So Joey decided that he will too write a note to his father, and this is what he wrote. "Dear Father, I hope that you can forgive me for all the pain I've caused you. I love you very much and I will never forget you. And please know that nothing you taught me will go in vain." When he was done and ready to place his prayer on the cracks of the wall, he took his time to look for the perfect spot. in an area that will speak to his soul. So Joey paced back and forth, looking for that perfect spot. And as he raised his hand to put his prayers into the cracks of the wall, at that precise moment, another prayer that was already there became loose, falling to the ground by his feet. He felt compelled to read it. And as he bent down to pick up the fallen and partially opened prayer, he noticed that it had a writing that resembled that of his father's. So as he read it, he was shocked. It was a prayer that his father had written before his death. It was a prayer that his father wrote to God, asking for forgiveness for turning his back on his son. The father also wrote a note for Joey, and this is what he said. My dear son Joey, if you should ever happen to come to Israel and somehow miraculously find this note, this is what I want you to know. I always loved you, even when you hurt me, and I will never stop loving you. You are and will always be my beloved son. And Joey, please know that I forgive you for everything, and I only hope that you in turn will forgive a foolish old man. Signed, Adam Rickless, Cleveland, Ohio. What a beautiful communication between a father and son that transcended time, space, life, and even death. What an extraordinary story of divine synchronicity, don't you think? What were the odds that at the precise moment in that precise location of Joey putting his prayer onto the cracks, that he would find a note from his deceased father? The mathematical possibilities of something like this happening are 1 in a billion. I mean, it's crazy. A wall that stretches around 50 meters or 160 feet long, visited by more than 5 million people a year, containing hundreds of thousands of papers on its cracks, happens to be the precise spot of his father's prayer. Coincidence? Or is it the universe's way of telling us that there is more to reality than meets the eye? I've had my share of beautiful synchronicities in my life, reminding me that there are miracles and divine guidance around us. And as Joseph Campbell once wrote, life is not a problem to be solved, but a mystery to be experienced. I will see you on the next episode with more stories that will inspire, surprise you, and hopefully even change you.